Look, I don't know Bugs Bunny. All right, I've met him. Actually, I know him pretty well, but I wouldn't work with him. Except I might be doing an album with him. But I've heard he's pretty rough on singers.
The first Bugs Bunny cartoon came along as just a Daffy Duck in a rabbit suit, really.
Got a hunting license?
At first, Bugs just jumped around and woo-wooed like an insane rabbit.
But I haven't got one now.
Well, at the very beginning, Bugs didn't look anything like the Bugs Bunny of today. He had one thing in common. He had teeth, and he had ears like a rabbit, but the resemblance really kind of stopped there.
Say, you wouldn't consider taking a picture of a rabbit, would you? I know a rabbit who wouldn't mind posing for you. That is, if you are at all interested.
Very shortly after that, why, Tex Avery came up with the wild hare. And the wild hare was the first time that Bugs had come out, looked over Elmer's shoulder, taken a bite out of a carrot, and said, "What's up, Doc?" And that was the beginning of the character.
What's up, Doc? Shh, it's a rabbit down there, and I'm trying to catch him.
Like all of our characters, the drawings and the voice developed over a period of years. Bugs Bunny's voice developed under the wise guidance of Mel Blanc.
The reason I picked that voice was I had to have a tough voice, either Brooklyn or the Bronx. So I thought, why don't I put the two of them together, Doc? So that's how I got the voice for Bugs Bunny.
Oh, give me a home where the buffaloes roam, and the deers and the antelopes play, and the rabbits, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day.
Look, I've never seen a Bugs Bunny movie. All right, I've seen one, but I didn't pay any attention. Okay, so I made a few notes. Look, a lot of things that I do I picked up from Bugs. All right? I admit it. I admit it. Now leave me alone.
Well, there's no question that many of the Hollywood stars have stolen from Bugs. This thing you see Paul Newman doing all over the place, where he munches on a carrot and then says, "What's up, Doc?" This was created by Bugs Bunny. In the Meryl Streep movies, the last 3-4 movies, you see her being chased by hunters and then she burrows into the ground. This was original concept by Bugs Bunny.
Well, here I am. Hey, just a cotton-picking minute. This don't look like the Coachella Valley to me. I knew
Oh, I should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque. Oh, well, I'll just ask this gent in the fancy knickerbockers. I beg your pardon. Pardon me, sir, but could you direct me to the shortest route to the Coachella Valley and the Big Carrot Festival therein? What's up, Doc? Stop steaming up my tail! What are you trying to do, wrinkle it?
One of the most common questions I ask of a common director is, what does a director do? Does he order the drawings to move around? And in effect, that's exactly what he does do. The line test or pencil test was something that we used to determine whether or not the characters were performing correctly. Even with a talkative character like Bugs Bunny, we wanted to be certain that the action demonstrated what we're talking about. In other words, our characters were actors.
Come down with the hat caved in. I go back home with a pocket full of 10. Oh, day. Go on around all night. Go on around all day. I bet my money on the bobtail. Somebody bet on me.
But also, then you would act the scene out. And so different directors were different in their way of doing this. I tended to act the scene out, and I understood the dialogue of what Davy was saying pretty well. And Tex Avery was brilliant at this.
Hello! Hello! Hello!
I was very fortunate because I worked both with Tex Avery and Friz Freleng, both of whom I consider the best short subjects directors that ever lived.
1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to make ready, and 4 to go. Bon voyage. Uh-oh. Forgot to fill the tank with water.
When I became an adult and went into the Air Force and became a combat pilot in World War II, shot down a few airplanes and got shot down, I always thought back how nice it would have been to do all of the things that Bugs Bunny did without getting hurt a little bit. And it amazed me, even during the war, seeing Bugs Bunny selling war bonds to help our war effort. To me, that was very commendable.
The tall man with the high hat will be coming down your way. Get your savings out when you hear him shout, any bonds today? Come on and get 'em, folks. Come on, skip right up and get 'em. Any bonds today? Bonds of freedom, that's what I'm selling. Any bonds today? Scrape up the most you can. Here comes the freedom man, asking you to buy your share of freedom today.
But Bugs selling war bonds was a joke because Bugs was not interested in fighting, you know what I mean? He was a coward.
Gulp. What's up, Doc?
That is an interplanetary flying space saucer. We are returning to Mars in it.
We?
Yes. Isn't it delightful? Hmm?
And suppose I decline to accompany you on your delightful journey, shorty? Well, come on. What are we waiting for? Let's go.
Are you saying Bugs Bunny's a coward? He is a coward. No, he's not a coward. Actually, he saved my life once. I was swimming one day. I got the cramps. He dives into the water, saves me, and saves my girlfriend. Then he runs off with my girlfriend. I don't take women around him anymore.
You know Bugs Bunny?
Yes, you know, for a certain type of ladies, I think they find Bugs very appealing.
Bugs is a ladies' man? Well, there are always rumors in Hollywood about that.
I've never seen Bugs with a woman, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, carrots hard to find. You get a dozen for a dime. It's magic. They fry, a song begins. They roast, and I hear violins. It's magic. Why do I kid myself? Other loves that I have are all really few. When in my heart I know the magic is my love for you.
You know, Bugs doesn't really turn women on. It's the music in his movies. You know, when I'm with a woman and I want the right mood, I listen to Carl Stalling. Let me play something for you. Yeah, like this.
Try and top that!
Cartoons. Pah! Degrading occupation. Stooge for a cat and mouse. Pie. Such nonsense. Pah! I'm through playing the part of a clown. No longer shall I degrade myself in hammy slapstick. It is my destiny to become a great Shakespearean actor. And so, farewell to low comedy.
I remember talking to Bugs about the particular qualities needed to be in a Warner Brothers cartoon. Very particular acting style, which of course he has, and which unfortunately I don't.
Well, ask yourself, who is good enough to be in Looney Tunes? I mean, look at the people that Bugs had working around him.
Look here, son. I say, son, did you see that hawk after those hens? He scared them. That Rhode Island red turned white, then blue. Rhode Island, red, white, and blue. That's a joke, son. A flag waver. You're built too low. The fast ones go over your head. You got a hole in your glove. I keep pitching them and you keep missing them. You gotta keep your eye on the ball. Eyeball. Eyeball. I almost had a gag, son. Joke, that is.
You want to go for a ride, Pootie? Oh, the poor Pootie got fought down.
This is the picture that Bugs gave me. The night he won the Oscar for Nighty Night Bugs in 1958. Everybody was there. I mean, look, Foghorn Leghorn, the Roadrunner, Yosemite Sam, Sylvester. What a group of talent, huh? Oh, and look at Pepe Le Pew. You know, I think that was the last night he was ever in Hollywood.
It was a sad story. He couldn't get arrested after 90 Night Bugs because all of a sudden Bugs was the superstar. He was the artist, and Peppy was just a little skunk. So Peppy left. He bailed out. He went over to Europe. He went to Europe. He worked in France. He did, you know, art films over there.
Baby face. You got the cutest little baby face. There's not another one could take your place. Baby face, I didn't need a show. Oh, no. 'Cause I just fell in love with your pretty baby face.
He was loved by a lot of people, and whenever we'd go over, everybody would look him up, but he never came back. He never visited. It was always, oh, if you are here, you know, please stop by, you know, and you would go by, and he'd be so gracious and so lovely, and he would always say, oh, how is Bugs? Is Bugs good? And you knew it was breaking his heart. But I think Daffy was the one who was hurt the most. Bugs gets an Oscar, and Daffy's still, you know, coming in the back way to the lot. The guy had worked like a, you know, he'd been an animal, you know. He'd basically got a shotgun blast in the face every day for 4 years from Elmer Fudd.
Makeup!
Well, people didn't want to see him do anything different, and he was always getting duck scripts and nothing else, and always the same kind of script, and he felt he was in a rut. So again, he is an imaginative duck. He wrote himself a script, and that's how the Scarlet Pumpernickel got started.
You're killing me! I'm being murdered! I can't stand this torture anymore! I'm dying! You're killing me! I'm telling you, J.L., you're typecasting me to death. Comedy. All this comedy. Ha-ha. Ooh, yak, yak. Honest, J.L., you just gotta give me a dramatic part.
Well, I
knew you'd see it my way, J.L., and it just so happens that I have with me the very script that we've been looking for.
Yes, but
Let's see now, where to begin. Oh, yes, page 1. The Scarlet Pumpernickel by Daffy Dumas, Duck. Chapter 1. Once upon a time...
You read the script and you went, my God, this is Daffy Duck. This is who this is. This character. And the Warner Brothers wanted Speedy Gonzales. No, we'll put a Mexican mouse in this part that's written for an American duck.
Speedy worked out very badly, and after 3 days of shooting, they stopped and they went back to Daffy.
But Daffy, thank goodness, had his wits about him, and he decided, well, I have an advantage here. They want me now, even though they kicked me out the other day. And so I would like some parts in this for my friends.
As a result of that, Sylvester the Cat ended up playing the Grand Duke.
First, I am happy, for I am to marry the fair Melissa. Then, I am furious, because I despise the Scarlet Pumpernickel.
Do you know who else is in the Scarlet Pumpernickel? Porky Pig.
I remember that day. Porky hadn't worked in a long time, and he was out mowing the lawn when he got the call. He ran over to our house, and he was so happy. I could tell he'd been crying, and he said, I'm never going to forget. He said, guess what? Daffy wants me in his movie. Oh, God.
Milady, the fair Melissa, is indisposed, my lord?
No, your grace, but she wishes to see no one until after the wedding.
Then see, thy name is woman. It's a kind of phrase.
The wedding must take place tonight, my lord. The Scarlet Pumpernickel is about, masquerading as a gentleman. And who might you be, Ira?
Mayhap, perchance, foppish that I am, I might be the Scarlet Pumpernickel?
You? The Scarlet Pumpernickel? That's silly. That's ridiculous.
I shall have Melissa make ready, my lord. The wedding will take place right away.
This looks like a job for the Scarlet Pumpernickel. Funny. That never happens to Errol Flynn.
Everybody knew it was Daffy's picture all the way. Daff was unique. He was a maverick. He was a rebel. And he's a lot more intelligent than people give him credit for. He was more a farmer. I mean, I have no respect intellectually for Fudd. And why, well, it's not that I don't like Fudd, I just don't have any respect for him intellectually. And Daffy, I do have respect for him.
Our pictures were never made for children. They were never made for adults. They were made for us.
The reason I stick with the characters and never lost them, I guess, is because I grew up with them. It's like your own child. You created that child, and you grow up with that child, or the child grows up with you, and you can never lose that love for that child. I think these characters are believable. I think they're believable characters. I believe they're still alive. I always drew Bugs Bunny because I figured he's somewhere. And I'm just drawing a picture of him.
Yep, I've worked with a lot of great people in my day, and it's nice to see them get the recognition they deserve.
Friz and Chuck, there's only one more thing that all of us can say, and that is thank you.
And that's the end.
Now stay tuned for a star-studded salute to the world's most famous song and dance man. David Niven hosts Charlton Heston, James Stewart, and more on the American Film Institute Salute to Fred Astaire next.
To learn more about animated films, the Library of Congress suggests these books. The American Animated Cartoon, edited by Danny Curry and Gerald Curry. Of Mice and Magic, A History of American Cartoons by Leonard Maltin. These and many other interesting books are waiting for you in your local library and bookstore.
Hey, visit them and they'll be happy to help you read more about it. Yeah.